Glad to have you on Spotlight on party politics in Enugu State, as Governor Peter Mbah has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. The governor made the declaration at the stakeholders' town hall meeting at the Government House, Enugu State. Governor Mbah, elected on the platform of PDP, is moving to the governing party with House of Assembly members, councillors, chairman of councils, and others. On the program today, we x-ray the chances of the All Progressives Congress ahead of the 2027 elections. As governors move in droves into the governing party, where lies the role of the opposition parties in the country? Well, let's tell you that as of the 14th of October 2025, there are 24 states with APC governors, 9 states with PDP governors. Anambra State has a means of ABGA, Abia State Labour Party, while Kano State has NNPP.
Purpose. Together we build relationship that would always matter to me personally and to this state. Yet, leadership sometimes demands difficult, even painful decisions in the service of higher principles and goals. And there comes always a time when everyone must make a bold choice to determine their destiny. Today, after a long reflection, we have made the decision to leave the People's Democratic Party and join the All Progressive Congress.
Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State there announcing the defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives. Let me begin with you now, Mr. Doherty. I don't know how you feel about this, because now the only PDP governor in the Southeast, Enugu State's Peter Mbah, has just dumped your party to join the APC. What is your party's reaction to that?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me on TVC and for TV. And you are talking about a very, very sensitive subject. Now, how sensitive this is, it's if you don't follow the things that have been happening, you won't really understand it. Unfortunately, I will agree with Mbah. Now, that could surprise a lot of people. But you see, PDP is inflicting damage on itself. It's not coming from APC. PDP's managers and those that have been taking decisions within the party must know that eventually, if they continue on that trajectory that they have been since 2022, they are going to probably end up with only one governor in the state. And that is in the whole country. Maybe that will be Seyi Makinde. APC is doing what they need to do as a ruling party. And I don't have any apologies, because they know what they are doing. They know how to do it. They know how to play. We have been playing politics with the APC for 25, 26 years. They are not amateur politicians in APC. And for PDP to allow itself to open its flags the way they have, then they have themselves to blame. And I'll say it again, reconstructively, we have ourselves to blame. If things do not change after Mbah, don't be surprised you see some very, very close. You see some, let me just put that, you see some more defections.
So with this announcement or with this analysis you've just given, does it mean you also, Adedeji Doherty, have a plan to defect from the PDP to the APC?
You say?
Are you also considering joining the APC?
My sister, let me tell you something, right? At the end of the day, as at today, okay? As at today, I am a member of the PDP. I have a lot of friends, both at the top and at the bottom in the APC. I have been invited to the APC severally by the governor of Lagos State, by the deputy governor, everybody, even Mr. President. I have not moved to the APC, but that definitely is, it could be an option down the line if they don't change. And the window to change is closing very, very seriously.
Let's quickly hear from Mr. Chilo-Offiah on. I hear you, Mr. Doherty, but very quickly, let's please get the position of Mr. Chilo-Offiah, who is an aide to Governor Peter Mbah. Mr. Chilo-Offiah, your principal has just, dumped the party that gave him platform to be the #1 citizen of Enugu. Some have described this move as a betrayal. How do you respond?
Thank you very much for having me. I wouldn't say it's a betrayal of sorts. This presents the opportunity for Enugu State to align with federal government, and joining the APC ensures that we move into a new era of strategic cooperation, economic acceleration, and inclusive growth in the Southeast, and especially in Enugu State. The work the governor has been doing for the last 2 years speaks for itself. He has touched every sector, the transformative work being done in the educational reforms. Setting up the 260 Smart School has become a pillar across the nation. The investments in the Tier 2 digital integrated primary healthcare centers across, again, all 260 wards in Enugu State, cutting from investments in agriculture, even within my MDA, MSME development and digital economy. There's a lot of work we're doing there, setting up outsourcing centers, setting up innovation hubs. So it cuts across all sectors. I don't necessarily think we should look at it from the perspective of being a betrayal. He has given his reasons. He has laid out his reasons in his speech earlier today. Also, you can see I'm in my new regalia, wearing the APC attire. It fits me well. It fits us well.
But Mr. Chilo-Offiah, if Peter Mbah back then had not been, fortunate enough to have the ticket of the PDP, he wouldn't be where he is today, would he?
I understand what you're saying. Of course, that's the party that we ran the campaign to become for Dr. Peter Mbah to become the executive governor of Enugu State. But just like the other speaker has said, there are things, currently going on within the system that, he has seen fit to, take the whole political structure within Enugu that cuts across both national and to the grassroots and move to the APC. Why this transition is simply about strategic alignment and not partisan politics. His Excellency Dr. Peter Mbah has always been committed to transformation and aligning with the Renewed Hope agenda. As you can see, all his programs align with the Renewed Hope agenda. So what we're just trying to ensure, what His Excellency is trying to ensure, is that Enugu is able to unlock greater national collaboration and federal resources. So this is not a betrayal. This is moving the state to the next level.
Let me go to Mr. Doherty. This conversation now is actually taking some other dimension, because even you as a member of the PDP believe that what has happened is what should happen because the PDP hasn't been able to put its house in order. But now, what is the way forward? South is completely out of the grips of the PDP, and even in other regions, there are speculations and reports and rumors that more governors are seeking to leave the PDP for the APC. Just how worried are you about this, and what do you think can be done?
Let me say something real quick. Chilo has said quite a lot. Most of the projects that they have done in Enugu up to today are PDP projects. They have delivered. They want to deliver more. What does it take to deliver more? Is for you to be able to align and work with the federal government. Now, having said that, let us look at the political side. In the PDP today, if Mbah has always been a major player in the PDP. Now, I don't know. I'm not very close to him. I have been a member of the Southwest Zone. I've been a financial secretary. I've been an organizing secretary. I've been an acting vice chairman. I've been a state chairman of Lagos State PDP. So I know the nucleus of what might be transpiring in Mbah's head. 2027 is around the corner. He has a re-election to do. He needs to deliver to his people, to make his people happy, to vote him in again. Now, his party isn't at rest. His party isn't acting like they're ready to even carry him to the next level. What would he do as a politician? I've run for governor 4 times in Lagos State. I ran for governor at the age of 38 when Tinubu was a governor. I'm 64 now. And in Lagos State itself, the PDP has not even been able to get itself together. You understand? So do you want Mbah now that is delivering? Everybody sees what...
Well, Mr. Doherty and Mr. Chilo-Offiah, we do need to take a break now. When we return from that break, we'll further x-ray this developing story in Enugu State, especially as it affects the 2027 general election, which is just on the horizon. Please stay with us. Thank you so much for staying with us on the program today, where we are looking at party politics in Enugu State, even as Governor Peter Mbah defects to the All Progressives Congress. One of his aides, Mr. Chilo-Offiah, is my guest, as well as a chieftain of the PDP, Adedeji Doherty. Mr. Chilo-Offiah, Governor Mbah may have joined the APC now, but the millions of people at the grassroots who voted for him, especially because he represented the umbrella party, have a choice to either move with him or remain, under the umbrella. How do you hope to gain their complete trust and support, even as this move takes effect?
Thank you very much for that question. So, it's said that the true measure of leadership is not the ideology per se, but it's the impact. And just like the speaker, Mr. Doherty, has said, the impact of His Excellency Dr. Peter Mbah's, innovative, disruptive innovation here in Enugu State, has been something that cuts across everywhere, including the grassroots. So, just right now at the Opera Square, I had to excuse myself because of this interview. Everyone is there, all representation from the grassroots all the way up, like I mentioned earlier, they're all there. So the allegiance, yes, we're moving to the great APC, but the allegiance also is, with the leadership that we've seen with His Excellency. And the people have seen it. They are supporting him. During the elections, during the campaign for him, he laid out all the extent of the works he wants to do, and he's effecting and delivering on those projects. So the people voted for him, the people voted for his capacity, and he has continued to show that capacity, and he's delivering on that capacity. So aligning with federal government ensures Enugu can deliver faster, attract more partners, and implement more sustainable programs. So I don't see any disconnection there.
Let's hear from Mr. Doherty. Since 2015, when your party, lost out at the center, it's been quite a task, trying to put your house in order, especially following the 2023 general elections and, before that, the Congress and all that. Why has it been so difficult for the PDP to address this hydra-headed, do I call it a monster now, that it's tearing it apart and has brought it to its current state?
You see, let me say something right quick. I've been a member of the PDP since 1998, 1999. You understand? And I've seen a lot of things happen. Now, PDP was built on very strong conditions, especially in terms of the constitution that guided the party, the guidelines that guided primaries, that guided congresses and things like that. Now, PDP has over the years, by the way, from following its own constitution and being the forefront of democracy, being the party in the forefront of the second democracy in this country. You understand? It is born on the PDP to make sure that internal democracy is kept close to its chest. Now, this has not happened, and it has continued to boomerang and boomerang and boomerang into a snowball now that has created what we see today.
Why has it been difficult for internal democracy to be the order of the day in the PDP? Why, or which person or what factors have been responsible for that?
What else would be responsible for a lack of internal democracy is greed, selfishness, and lack of love.
Driven by which people?
Driven by most of the leaders, especially in Lagos State. You understand? Most of the okay, let me give you an example. In 2023, we had a governorship candidate that came in 3 months into the party and got a ticket. We have, even in Enugu, I am sure that for Mbah to even conduct his Congress, he will probably be living in Abuja, talking to them in Wadata, playing all kinds of, instead of them giving him the freedom as the leader of the party in his state. Let him get his leaders together. Let internal democracy be the order of the day. Instead, they would have probably raised 1 or 2 opposition leaders even within his state to create problems for him. So you understand? Now, Mbah will not want to divert his attention from the ball. Right now, he's in APC. He has a calmer head. He can deliver. He wants his allocations done. He wants this done. He wants that done. Everything is done accordingly. And he doesn't have to carry the burden that he has been carrying. There are things that I cannot say that Mbah has been carrying that I cannot say on TV.
Well, let's hear from Mr. Chilo-Offiah. You have spoken about some of the projects that the governor has, been able to execute in the past 2 years that he has been in office. And we know he also has spoken about the fact that he's moved, because of opportunities for greater collaboration. But, there are those who think that all of those just being thrown up as excuses. Perhaps the bigger picture is his re-election bid. And he feels that if he did not make this move or does not make this move, then those chances will be really slim because there are bigger names in the APC that wouldn't, have him get there. What do you say about this?
I must say, I don't 100% agree with the reckoning you've just put in place. Irrespective, I think there has been a slow transition in the national framework of how politicking has taken into place in Nigeria. I think we've seen that very effectively from the last election. We're moving steadily away from quote-unquote, party politics, but also trying to align more towards the capacity of the leadership. So if you look at all the leaders that are in place within the APC, there is something strategic as to what they are doing in their respective states. They are bringing, they've become their federal bridgeheads in that region, bringing in alignment from the federal. And that's not too far off from what's happening here in Enugu State. His Excellency has seen that, by this transition, Enugu can become a gateway for engagement across the whole Southeast. It gives us the right negotiating power for regional projects and a number of things. But I have to very much say this vocally, is that I believe the people of Enugu State believe in Peter Mbah. The people of Enugu State believe in the current administration. They have seen tangible growth in the last 24 months. They've seen tangible growth from the, reaching our target of 30 billion in GDP growth rate by 2031. The economy of the state has changed significantly. The spending power has increased significantly. The last reports on inflation in Nigeria, Enugu State had the lowest. And these are due to tangible and effective governance by His Excellency. So the people of Enugu State believe in Dr. Adedeji Peter Mbah. The disruptive transformation has been quite alarming across board, even from the mindset of the youth. So I must say this, the people believe in Dr. Adedeji Peter Mbah, and that's who they voted for. And, the shift to APC will bring more development, more growth for Enugu State, and
I hear you.
Is going to deliver that.
I hear you. Let's get the final thoughts now from Mr. Doherty. Now, PDP once boasted it would rule Nigeria for 60 years. Any hope? Do you think there's any hope left for the party in Nigeria?
Well, definitely, this is politics, you understand? And I've always said it, that if democracy is going to fall, PDP would be the first casualty, because they are the movers of democracy in Nigeria. They are the custodians of democracy in Nigeria. And if they do not, or we, because I'm still in PDP, if we do not hold the bulls by the horn, you understand, and go back into the trenches and start working right from zero. Get our internal democracy right. Get people, because you see, we're talking about the grassroots, and the grassroots is always going to be there. You cannot count the amount of roots that the grasses have. So as people get older, Uba is going to leave. Another person is going to come. Another person that loves PDP by coming and say he's going back to PDP tomorrow. The person can say, I'm going to NMPP. The person can say, depending on what, we are a revolving democracy. And if PDP says that, oh, whatever is happening to it now is something that shouldn't happen or whatever. No, no, no. You must take the responsibility for what is happening. You must take responsibility to know that you need to go back and go and reorganize the party.
It's a good way to live.
Running the party right now, I don't know. I don't want to say anything negative.
It's a good way to leave the conversation. Special Advisor on SME and Digital Economy to Enugu State Governor Arinze Chilo-Offiah and PDP Chieftain Adedeji Doherty. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the program today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, that is our show for today's paid broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Abosedi Adeniwa Adremi. Have a great day.